continue again. It got interrupted, so I will continue. So polygamy was allowed in scenarios where, you know, there are women, vulnerable women, who are divorcee, who don't have the option to, you know, live on their own, or do not find an unmarried man, because obviously in ancient times men used to fight lots of wars, so generally there were less men than, you know, women. So in that scenario, Prophet ﷺ and Sahaba and Islam allowed the marriage of you know, multiple marriages of men, polygamy. A similar situation was with, you know, Jewish men were killed because there was a lot of enslavement, there was a lot of anti-Semitism, and in the history Jewish men were killed. Pharaoh, we know the story of Pharaoh. Pharaoh wanted all the male childs to be executed in Egypt, and the girl child could live. So in that context we can say that there were more girls than boys in the Jewish communities as well. So that's why Jewish community is also allowed you know, polygamy, because they were concerned that what will happen to these Jewish women, who will they marry? I mean if someone is unmarried and widowed, God knows, I mean, the Egyptian could get that woman as a concubine or whatever, to save her from being a concubine or somebody's mistress. They sort of had involved that, oh no, she has a husband, so you cannot just take her away. So, you know, we don't know the scenario in which polygamy was allowed in the ancient times. I personally feel it was a more pagan ritual to have multiple sexual partners for males, because it sort of symbolized, like Zeus was married multiple times and he had multiple mistresses, human mistresses as well as, you know, godly those mistresses as well. So that polygamy, having a concubine, is a purely pagan concept. It's not an Abrahamic concept. And, you know, in pagan rituals, male and masculinity is sort of put out there as a godly thing, and a woman has to, bow in front of that masculinity, bow in front of that god. And you know, I mean, like in the Sanatana Dharma, Pati Parveshwar is called Patni is never called a goddess, but Pati is called Pati Parveshwar. That means the husband as a god, not wife as a goddess. So they only have gods in, so they sort of say the husband is a god, and then a god has multiple women to entertain him, to have concubines. So that sort of mentality is a very pagan mentality, and I don't know why the Muslim men don't understand. Another point that I want to highlight is that if a male is impudent and he doesn't tell anyone, and he gets married, and his wife says, after he gets married, his wife talks to his parents and people that, okay, this guy is impudent, so he won't sexually satisfy me. So what should she do? I mean, she should go to the doctor and say, I mean, what would the guy's parents and girl's parents would say in Pakistani and Muslim society and culture? They would sit down that girl and say, okay, he's just impudent, we'll see medical help, and if there is a possibility he can, recover from this condition, then yes, probably he would not have this very, very masculine, masculine sexual abilities, but you would do fine. So you need to adjust in that. I mean, why can't we say it if a man, I mean, Zakir Naik also said that some men are aggressively, sexual. If having less sexual drive is a disease and called impotency, and people go and take help for that to maintain it and have a balanced, normal sexual life, so you can have a good married life, you satisfy your wife, you are able to have children, and you live a good life with having a condition of impotency, and you consider it this impotency or less sexual drive as a disease. Why can't we say the same for the having excessive sexual drives? If a man has excessive sexual drives and his wife no matter what cannot satisfy him. He cannot get enough of it. And why can't he go to a doctor who can help reduce his hormones and sort of make him a sensible living human being? I mean, I am surprised. I mean, people have porn, people have mistresses, then there are legal prostitution, then wives. I mean, what is going on with men? Where will their this hunger, I mean, this is a disease, this is a pandemic. It's more worse and dangerous pandemic than the COVID pandemic. I'm being highly funny and sarcastic at the same time, but the societies, and it's time we need to talk about it. That is this attitude normal, that you just, I mean, with work, with your responsibilities, you have parent-teacher meeting, you have to raise your children, you have to take care of the home chores, and out of all these responsibilities, you still have time for porn, still have time for your wife, still have time for your mistress, still have the time to go to a strip club or a prostitute. Where is this? What is this nonsense? And then you drag Hazur Sallam and Sahaba Sallam into this filth, and then this, and call it, oh, we are regulating this filthy acts and people who have aggressive sexual, we're trying to control it. And subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Hazur Sallam has legalized for. What is this? What is this? This is more blasphemous towards Islam. This is more blasphemous towards Prophet Sallam. This is more blasphemous towards the Sahaba, that you are making people. And women are just, I mean, marriage is becoming disgusting for Muslim women. I'm not married and I don't intend to get married to a Muslim woman. And I'm saying this on YouTube so that everyone can quote me, and these are the issues. These are the very issues with the Muslim men and our community, that women are getting frustrated. Even men are getting frustrated. You have ex-Muslims, so you have this, that, you have Tariq Fateh, whatnot and whatnot. So get some sense out of it. I mean, hearing this from somebody who's living in West, who's a convert, probably I'm assuming that he's educated. What is this? I mean, if something bad happened in Romans, in Greeks, in Asian tradition, you're gonna bring them in the 21st century and redo it. I mean, what the hell is this? This is not. I mean, that is happening, and my sister is laughing on this. That what the hell? Men are sick, and instead of getting help, medical help, they're getting married. I mean, you're sexually sick. Instead of getting help, you're getting another wife. I mean, what is going on? Having one wife and one husband with couple of children is a healthy home, where a husband has proper time that he would get intimate with his wife. A wife is not always tired and mentally frustrated, physically frustrated, sexually frustrated. She is a normal human being. She has a healthy lifestyle and healthy relationship with her husband. She takes care of the children. Both parents take care of the children properly. I mean, I don't get it. That, I mean, if these such educated people don't understand this, then who? And this is the issue. Okay, polygamy was then there in the ancient time. It was needed. There were circumstances. Fine. Today, women are independent. If a young woman marries a man that she likes, and she, okay, it's arranged marriage. We're not saying falling in love is prohibited for a Muslim man. I admit it. And every Muslim woman is like, I will not do it. I swear to God. You have arranged marriage. You get married. You fell in love with your husband. You have an intimate relationship. God forbid, after 5 years, 6 years, he dies. You have 2 children or 3 children of his. You are educated. You can go get a job, raise your 3 children, and then have a decent life. The society will protect your honor, everything. It's not like if you will not get laid or you will not have sex, your life will, I mean, it would be a nuclear bomb on this world. What will happen? Yes, of course, I admit that if you're only 30 and your husband died, you have 3 children, there's a lot of pressure. work stress, this stress, that stress. Yes, you miss your partner, yes, you miss your husband, but that doesn't mean that you will grab any other guy and you go into bed with that person. I mean, we are not like this. Yes, shaitan has its fitna, there is evil inclination, but that doesn't mean that you will do evil inclination, and to be protected from evil, just get married by hook or crook. It doesn't matter if the guy has already 3 wives and he's already frustrated and drained, he doesn't have money. You pop into his life and say, because I'm missing my husband, so please marry me too, and once in a while come in bed with me. So fulfill. What is this? Neither man, neither woman have these violent sexual needs that they will destroy the entire society if they won't have. I mean, in Sanatana Dharma there is dharmacharya. Modi ji left his wife, he's never been with his wife or any other one, I hope so. I mean, they're also human. What's wrong with Modi ji? I mean, I don't see any problem. He's the prime minister of the biggest democracy. I mean, we have to have some sensibility. This is not how things work out. Polygamy cannot work in the 21st century. Where women are educated, they're independent, they no longer need a man at all cost or at any cost. We need to have very sensible, holy and righteous households. This whole thing will collapse our religion, our culture, our tradition, and more importantly, this is blasphemy for our Prophet ﷺ and our religion. Please try to understand. And then when people like those Hebdo, those newspaper make caricatures and cartoons of Prophet, then don't come and complain when you are doing this. When you are doing you're saying ridiculous things and associating it with Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba. You don't know anything about Islam. Whatever you feel like, whatever your sexual drives are at that moment, you're sexually frustrated, you write something and then say it was a hadith. Same issue is with the ulamas, the Maulvis, the Imams. All of them have no mind whatsoever. The ones who try to speak with some sensibility, we isolate them. We either kill them or isolate them. So please, for God's sake,